Okay. Hello everyone and good evening. It's a Saturday and welcome. We're the geeky ones. So I'm Jude. Below me is Steven and next to us is our guest for tonight. And it's
Hi.
Neil. So yeah.
Hi.
Neil has been here for a couple of episodes. Um he's back here tonight because we're gonna talk about two big franchises that had pretty big games and it made both franchises fun again. I mean, change the formula a bit, or just did something. Just you shake up. Community is like all up for it and very happy, and yeah. So we're gonna talk about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and their respective games. So Pokemon Legends Arceus and Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. So that's insane.
Mm.
Imagine this happening in the last 2 weeks of January,
Crazy.
To
and
be fair, the last 2 weeks of January have been insane for
Sobra,
gaming
my
in
gosh.
general. Yeah,
it's fun
Whiplash. Oh,
actually.
this happened. This happened. We don't know what'll happen next.
Such a
Duel
weird,
Masters,
Crazy.
such
bring
a
back
weird
Duel
last month.
Masters.
Oh yeah, at this point, bring back Duel Masters, and we can just have the card the trading card war of the century, and
Yeah.
somehow give Vanguard the resurgence that it could
My
get.
gosh,
So
Vanguard. Oh,
You know what? I,
wrestling.
get every TCG in. I
right?
don't care, even
Magic the
Gwent.
Right.
Gathering.
Oh, you know what I love? Magic the Gathering. You know the old Magic the Gathering games, like the Planeswalker games from the old PS2, Xbox era. I want those back because those were so nice to play until they went arena. So it's like, huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, bring them back. Bring all the old franchises back. Digimon. Digimon has like
Oh,
a game coming
Digimon,
up soon, right?
man.
It's been a
Like
while. It's been a while since
They have
Digimon
Cyber
has
Sleuth at
been
the very least. Yeah.
around.
no, they have
So
Cyber Sleuth, but then they have a upcoming action style visual novel type game coming out. The one that they teased with Agumon in it or something. So
yeah,
I
Maybe
don't
they've
know when
I
that's
been
don't
coming out.
know. I mean, it's
it's
the
been
it's the
under wraps.
anniversary of Tamers.
Yeah, I saw it 2 or 3 years ago, so I don't know what
Yeah.
happened with that. But we
Okay.
have Pokemon, we have Yu-Gi-Oh. Where's Digimon?
Yeah.
Monster Hunter
So
came back. So where's Digimon?
yeah, we're gonna talk about Arceus first because it's the one that it's pretty. It's been dubbed as one of the best Pokemon games in years. My favorite tweet is like it's the best Pokemon game since Mystery Dungeon 2, which
I
has
agree.
Oh,
been
I,
really
wow.
cool.
it's
That's
So
that good.
huge. That's huge.
that's how we'll enter that this topic. But yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus has been announced a while back, and it kind
Yeah,
of reminded me of Monster Hunter stories in the
yeah.
way that
In a
it's
way.
like a little shake up to the formula, open world RPG mechanic to just make sure that it's make a different introduce a different way to play the game.
I
And
would raise the bar by saying it's not even like Monster Hunter story. In fact, I think they took a bit from the past by saying let's get let's get let's get let's get that fun RPG open world esque nature of quests from Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but add a bit of Pokemon Ranger spin to it. If anyone has played the old
ooh,
Pokemon
yeah,
Ranger
I think
games,
it
where
does.
basically you're not a trainer, you're basically going out in the wild and sort of mastering these wild Pokemon who are attacking you. So it's like maybe it's a bit but it does seem like it took a lot of DNA from Monster Hunter as well as Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think that those are the biggest closest comparisons that we have in terms of the sandbox worlds that you get to play in.
Yeah. And I would say that the Breath of the Wild has been arguably the most influential video game of
Mm,
the past half decade.
yeah,
Almost half decade. It's almost 5 years
yeah,
since um
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda and Horizon Zero Dawn
If
came out, so
Zelda
that's
didn't
nice to
come,
remember.
we wouldn't have Genshin and we wouldn't have
Sonic.
Phoenix Rising.
Immortals, Phoenix Rising, and
Yeah.
a lot. Oh, the open world formula changed a lot with Zelda, and you can see that with Pokemon Legends Arceus, and it's really fun. And I think one of the things that I like about Pokemon Legends Arceus is that I think it kind of gave fans something that they've wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
A Pokemon game where it's 3D, you can actually throw the freaking Pokeball and see the Pokemon you're gonna throw it at.
Mm.
Diba? You get to experience the Pokemon trainer struggle and and getting bodied by a Pokemon while throwing.
Mm.
And I
Man.
think that's one that little aspect just is already for me. It's already a selling point that I can get into this.
No, let's not get into the whole body feat because the dark webs of the internet have seen Bunirari and they're like, ooh,
Oh no,
it's
scary
like
stuff right there.
the scary stuff right there. It's like I've seen the memes on Reddit. I'm like, oh no, it has begun. People who
Oh,
want,
this
you know how the whole we want to get stopped by that hat vampire mama happened with Resident Evil 8. We're gonna
Yeah.
get the same thing with Gardevoirs. We're gonna get the same thing with Buniraries. We're gonna be like, no, internet, we got a great thing going on.
Will never understand this obsession with Gardevoir being like this hot girl. It's like it just like why?
Well, it's
um
still
the,
better than
Can't.
Jinx. It's still better than people who are into Jinx.
well, there are people who
People
are
are
into
into Nicki Minaj
Vaporeon,
though.
so I would it's a crazy world we live in right now.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah.
weird.
let's just
The Gardevoir thing has been going on since like what? Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh boy.
Insane.
Well, here's to celebrating that they're all back. They serve it has something for everyone, and that's why people
Oh
are happy
man.
that's
with these
Pokemon for you. But yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus is the open world Pokemon game that people have been waiting for. So like at least you get to become a Pokemon master of you get to experience the grind in as the trainer himself, as a trainer themselves. So like really cool, and I really enjoyed that. And the formula is so good. I think it can change up how Pokemon titles in the future would be played
hmm
if they decide. But I think Pokemon Legends can be its own series as well.
I think that's
So
the plan, no?
That's the plan.
it,
They
I
want to have
think
a
yeah, it
mainline
is. It
series,
is.
and then they want
It's
this
the
to
same
be
like Pokemon Stadium Coliseum
it's like Pokemon
and the
Dungeon,
Mystery
that sort of
Dungeon.
thing.
Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Mystery Dungeon series. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
in that way. And
Pretty
also I
cool.
hope they so with with this new way of playing Pokemon, I just want them to just continue the formula because it's fun to see that they finally changed something. Because yeah, for the past decade, 2 decades, the classic Pokemon formula has been pretty much the same. Like
hmm
from Sword and Shield to backwards, so way back 3DS,
Well,
DS.
to
There's
be
not
fair,
much
Sun and
changes.
Moon shook things up a bit for Sun and Moon. That's why I love Sun
Mhm.
and Moon so much because it became like gym challenges where you have to catch the Marowaks and you have to like do the dances with all these. I mean, there's
Mhm.
still battles to them, but the Alola challenges felt so different. That's why I love Alola so much. But
Yes, dude. I
it was a
remember playing Sun and Alola is just
Alola was amazing, and this
beautiful.
is the next big change for Arceus because it feels along those lines
Nice.
where it gives you world lore, it gives you world building that we've always wondered about for ages. Because we always knew about the god of Pokemon, Arceus.
Yeah,
But what was it like ages ago with that? So this gives us it's Sinnoh, but it's also a new region, and you get to see these little Easter eggs. Or oh, this is the ancestor of that gym leader. This
Oh,
is
nice.
Cyrus's great grand someone. So you get to see these parallels between characters, and it's
Hmm.
fantastic. It's a it's a love note to that era of Pokemon, but at the same time, it's totally its own thing, forging its own style,
yeah.
Nice.
which everyone
Because
Isn't there?
loves.
Yu-Gi-Oh has always been an RPG, right? Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's always an RPG series. But I think this is where the role playing in that RPG abbreviation has been like emphasized
Yes.
even like in Pokemon Legends. So I love it. This is
Who's
fun.
that guy again? I just speaking of Arceus, I just remembered there was this one little thing in Pokemon Gold and Silver wherein you had to get berries and then you can convert those berries into different types of Pokeballs. Who was
No,
that
it's
guy again?
apricots. No, apricots.
Apricot, yeah.
And here's the thing: you go to cut and apricots. Here's the thing: we actually can craft our own Pokeballs. So the art of making Pokeballs. This is something that only Kurt knows in the present day. But back in the day, everyone could sort of
Oh my
do it,
gosh.
It's
which is
standard
amazing.
knowledge.
Man, that's like the bet. That's a great callback to Gold and
It's a
Silver.
great callback.
So,
And here's the thing: you have to look for these apricots in the wild. Sorry,
uh
not apricots, apricons. There we go, apricons.
okay.
Apricons in the wild, and then you just shake trees for them, just like the old Pokemon. You shake
Oh my
trees,
gosh.
but you don't shake it yourself. Like imagine sending a fighting Pokemon to punch the tree, or a rock Pokemon to just smack his head into the tree.
Oh my.
And suddenly, tuk, 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 they'd fall, and just like Zelda, they drop and they have that tuk, 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 that sound when you collect them. It takes a lot of
Oh
Zelda
my
stuff.
gosh. That's
The audio, even the design of the map, where
mm-hmm.
you press the minus sign to zoom in and zoom out and put your marks in the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's ripped off from Breath of the Wild. I'm not gonna
Nice.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
really
say.
cool. And yeah, from one Nintendo franchise to the other, taking notes, and that's really great. That's great. And yeah, I would also argue that no one can beat Pokemon Legends Arceus for the best game of January. Not even the next game
Nice.
we're gonna talk about. It's the best start of 2022 in terms of gaming releases,
Yeah.
because the first 6 months of 2022 is like insane, because
Mm.
it's February right now. This month we're gonna have Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West on a nice little release window showdown there, and it's gonna be really cool. And then we tend to forget that there are AAA titles, but there are lots of great titles in
And Dying
between.
Light just came out, and
Oh yeah,
people
Dying Light 2, Stay Human
Dying Light
just
2
came
just came
out,
out,
and
and I think people are sleeping on this one game that'll come out in 3 days. Sifu is
oh
going to
yeah,
be
Sifu.
mind-blowingly good. Next week
So yeah.
we're getting the campaign of a Crossfire X.
Oh my god,
Right.
yeah.
From Remedy. Remedy's making the campaign for Crossfire X. It's gonna be
Imagine the guys who made Control, Max Payne, and Alan Wake are making the FPS campaign. I mean, I'm interested in that, but yeah, I love that Pokemon Legends Arceus just set up 2022, because it's a really big year. Every
yeah.
delayed title from last year or 2020 is gonna be launching in the next few months, and it's just gonna be release after release. So it's a wallet burner year. So
Yep.
whether it be on AAA titles or indie titles, yeah, it's still gonna hurt your purchasing power by a significant amount. But yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus, yeah, this is a great start for this episode, because yeah, we can accept Pokemon Legends Arceus is arguably the best Pokemon game in the past few years. Especially that people kind of had a up and down reception with Sword and Shield.
Yes.
Mm.
I mean, Sword and Shield is still a solid Pokemon game, but yeah, Pokemon Legends
It
Arceus might be the most like important right now.
is I would say that personally, as a fan of the franchise, if you don't mind me saying so, Sword and
It's
Shield is the most backwards title that they've ever made, because one, everyone was having so much fun with Mega Evolutions,
Yeah.
which was
Mhm.
so interesting in the lore of Pokemon and what have you, and they took that away for what? Dynamaxing, which
Yeah,
does not
Dynamax is so useless.
Dynamaxing is so it's a gimmick. Why would you like? There's so many more interesting, because it doesn't add anything to the lore. It's just, oh, we're gonna there are these Dynamax regions and stuff, blah blah. It's and even the gym and the story feels very. It's you go back to stuff like Black and White, X and Y, Sun and Moon, coming off from all of those, and suddenly, and everyone was hyped up for the first proper mainline Pokemon game on a mainline console.
Yeah.
It had so much going on for it, and it turns out to be, And the reason why Sword and Shield is sort of decent is because one, they added the Pokedex back through DLC. They added all the fan favorites back through DLC because the fun parts of the wild areas in Pokemon Sword and Shield were actually the the DLCs, the Crown Tundra and what's that other island? I forgot. But yeah, those regions, those
Yeah.
added regions gave you a good post game, which Sword and Shield did not have. So it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Gets.
So yeah,
So
it's like it's a game that it was a slow burn because it only got bigger and quality wise a bit better only when they released the extra content. So that was one thing. But yeah, also one question before we move on.
Mm.
Do you think Pokemon Legends Arceus would still be in at least your top 10 of the year by the end of the year?
the year just started. It's gonna be tricky, but I would say it might.
Does it
It
have
could.
a good chance at
It has a
least?
good chance. I
Okay.
mean, it won't be the best open world game. I'm probably gonna reserve that to either Horizon or Starfield, depending how good Starfield is.
Starfield is a huge mystery
It's a huge.
because I just want to see gameplay to know if it's remotely something will
Is it
that
gonna
would
be?
give Bethesda
Is it
life.
Skyrim in space or is it Fallout in space? We don't know.
Is it
Yeah.
is it fine? Is it say goodbye to Bethesda Jank? That's one thing we have to check. But yeah, I would bet too that Pokemon Legends Arceus has a great chance of just staying in that top 10 of best of 2022, despite the overwhelming number of new releases that will be arriving in the.
And I would say
In,
it's probably gonna be still one of the best-selling games of the year. Absolutely for
Yeah.
yeah,
Switch.
Makes sense.
yeah.
Like
I
like
think
just go ahead,
I
Jude.
think
Sorry.
it's still gonna sell so well
Yeah.
for much of the
It is
year.
the
I mean,
best-selling.
I just came
It
from data bits
outsold Sword
earlier.
and
Yeah.
Shield. It's outsold Sword and Shield, I think already.
Oh
Mhm.
wow, already.
It might, yeah, really good chance there.
I mean, I just came from data bits earlier, and like I overheard a few people already asking, "Ate, may RCS pa ba kayo?" I was like, "Wala na." Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
sold out in Magnolia, and it's just this game is big. Like I feel like Nintendo did not anticipate. Game Freak probably did not anticipate how the reception of this game.
But then again,
Like
selling out, yeah,
yeah, like
even
I
the
haven't
biggest
played
titles
since
sell out.
yeah, like I haven't played since Sun and Moon, so I skipped the generation, and like shit, like this is big. Like X and Y well, yeah, X Y Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I'd say sort of change the game with Mega Evolutions, but like not to the point of Arceus literally changing the way you play the entire Pokemon series from like just capturing a Pokemon to getting hit by a Pokemon. You like okay, the best comparison would be in the previous games, if you fainted, you just blacked out. That's it, right?
Mhm.
But like in this game, Neil, I'm sure you can confirm this for me. If you get hit, you see your character get hit and collapse. Tama ba? Is that right?
Hit and collapse, and just like Monster Hunter, get carried to the nearest
Oh, wait,
medic
you
point.
get to see your character get carried by somebody?
Not really fairy, but you go back to the wipeout point, and then you lose items that you picked up along the way.
Oh
You lose
shit!
Pokeballs. You lose much valuable Pokemon or loot or important items that could help you
That's
get somewhere. Yeah.
Quite
it's so
painful, actually.
realistic.
But yeah,
Imagine looking for the item that can evolve your it can evolve your Scyther into a cleaver, and suddenly, oh, you got bodied.
you,
No.
you just got destroyed by a Pokemon on your side. Oh, hi.
Nice.
But yeah, I
Nice.
think I just love, yeah, it's the most immersive Pokemon experience.
Yes.
And that's gonna be really. I just hope they continue this style of Pokemon gameplay because it's a lot of fun. And it looks like it's well loved already at this point, and that's just it's just, I hope it's just the beginning for a revival of introducing something new to Pokemon, especially like it's a 20-year-old franchise, so they need something fresh.
Absolutely.
And
They
speaking of
They needed this
20-year
refresh.
old
Speaking of
franchises.
refreshes,
We have a little free to play title that Shadow dropped a week earlier than Arceus, and that's Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Yu-Gi-Oh! With the exclamation point. So I keep forgetting that the exclamation point should be there. So you have to shout Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is a free to play Yu-Gi-Oh! title. And right now it's available everywhere. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Steam, and
It's on
on
everything.
it's on Google Play Store and app in the App Store. So like it's everywhere right now. You can pick up your phone, go to your laptop, go you open up your console and download it.
Mhm.
So it's crazy because yeah, it's been a while. It's been announced a while back, but they didn't give a proper announcement. I mean, give a release date to when this game will come out, and then all of a sudden, on in the middle of in like the second week of January, they decided that hey, we're gonna release this finally. Let's go, and surprise, surprise, it's now one of the more popular games on Steam, and the community just grew into like thousands, tens of thousands. Like on Facebook, I've joined like two Facebook groups, and they're at least 25 to 30K in members. And the Reddit community, well, Reddit community is noisy enough to get salty on a meme I sent. Or share their traumatic dueling experiences. But yeah, it's a crazy thing to see that Yu-Gi-Oh, much like Pokemon, is big in like the late 90s and early 2000s. Everyone collected cards.
Oh
Everyone
yeah.
at least has a Dark Magician deck or a Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, or the rare ones with who chose Joey's deck and pick a Red Eyes. Everyone had at least one Yu-Gi-Oh card somehow, some way.
yeah,
But
like for some reason, like we had some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I've never played or watched Yu-Gi-Oh, but we have some Yu-Gi-Oh cards at home, and
yeah,
then
see, exactly. That's
diba?
how it.
Exactly,
So
proving Jude's
it's like
point.
loose. They're as common as loose change at some point. And in the mid 2000s, much like the interest of a lot of people on Pokemon, it kind of went on an up and down. I mean, Pokemon handled it better because they had the DS titles going, and then they had the 3DS titles going. But Yu-Gi-Oh didn't really have that big of a following. Like GX was great. Like the
Yeah.
succeeding
I
Yu-Gi-Oh
love GX.
series were actually solid. It's a long-running anime, but the thing is, it's catching up to like a trading card game that would last for at least a decade is tricky. I mean, lots of the major card games have this issue,
Mhm.
like cards getting power crept out of play. Like there are cards that are basically useless in a lot of decks, and what is this? Like there are times I stare at a random Yu-Gi-Oh card, a normal Yu-Gi-Oh card, and see where the hell can I use this in a modern game. Um, over the years, they've introduced a lot of new things: Link monsters, Synchro monsters,
Oh my god.
Xyz summoning, and then there's no proper way to introduce the formula until they introduced Master Duel, which has a tutorial mode that allows you to learn at least how to summon those tricky monsters
The
and
new
make
one.
sure that you can survive a few turns in a modern game. So it's quite fun. It's fun enough that I've delved into it and and spent a lot of time just learning, relearning what I've missed out on like the past 15 years of the game. It's
Oh man.
insane. And yeah, crazy. Apart from that, it's also very popular right now for content creators like the
Mhm.
Yu-Gi-Oh, the so-called Yugi tubers are now
Oh
like
boy.
getting a lot more traction. Yeah, they're
Oh yeah.
called Yugi tubers.
Yugi Troopers now. Dang it.
And older fans of the older Yu-Gi-Oh stuff are called Yugi boomers. So that's really
Oh,
funny.
God.
Holy crap.
Do
Holy
wait, do
crap.
we count as like the generation of Yugi Boomers? What do you call it?
Yeah, we're in that generation of Yugi boomers,
Or late
especially
20s and early
experienced
30s?
the early game of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hmm.
I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, come on, Neil. Come on. Said by the youngest person in this in this chat.
Am I the
But yeah,
youngest person in the chat?
You are, dude.
All right,
I'm
because even all right, because even though I was your senior, I was
Yeah,
still the
you entered
youngest.
earlier than me.
Right,
You're
I
like
was
what?
still.
You're in like in you're 26, right? 27?
No, I'm 28.
oh, we're
Yeah.
just the same age. So like
Yeah,
we're
Yeah.
no, I was the youngest in my batch. I was the youngest in my
Ah.
batch, but I wasn't exactly the But I was always the youngest in every batch that I ended up in.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you
Mhm.
guys were like 2 years
Yeah, because I had
behind.
grade 7
Yeah,
in high school. Yeah.
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 No, I did. I had that too, but yeah, I was just a little over the curve. Started out early, that's why.
Mhm.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yes,
that's one
yes.
thing. Yeah, we're all in that Yugi boomer age, and a lot of the people who came back to Yu-Gi-Oh like me, just when they discovered that,
Mhm.
oh my god, Yu-Gi-Oh is a way faster game than before.
Than
Like you
before.
can win in turn two.
I love. I'll be an old purist and say I like the old Yu-Gi-Oh, where everything that you had to do was set up the nice trap cards, the magic cylinders, the swords of revealing lights to just stop your opponents from killing you.
And
Instead
then
of going,
summoning one monster per turn is like the
you know,
normal
one
thing
monster
to
per
do.
turn, or if you can have like a board of 3 to 4 creatures, great. If you can have your lions and your and then hope that you can get Buster Blader or Red Eyes Black Dragon or and maybe polymerization to get those guys in. Like, okay,
Now,
let's get Sparkman and then let's get Clayman. Put them together. All right, light form. Let's go.
yeah,
Those were the
right.
days.
Yeah, right now Yu-Gi-Oh is a way crazier game because you can create five summons in like a
Yeah.
span of just a few minutes,
And
and that summon can just deactivate a ton of cards on the field or just erase the board entirely, leaving it to itself, and then you
my friend are
just simply
judges here.
destroy.
Like when I was still with Disney, I was friend with judges who were also working for Disney. So they were also like, "Yeah, I've got a game. Do you want to come? You want to sign my playmat when I go to Jakarta, Singapore Open?" I'm like, wait, what? We're still playing it? What? It's still alive?" And yeah, and I'm like, okay, sure. So I'm really proud of them. But on the other hand, I'm just like, dude, you're amazing. I love you and all. I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm like, I cannot keep up with this crazy
Yeah.
format. Yeah.
But yeah, if there was one thing that Master Duel was able to do, it allowed a lot of people to at least try and keep
Mm,
up with the current state
yeah.
of the game because they introduce a lot of decks that
Mhm.
introduce the mechanics of each deck, and I realized that you don't really have to you don't really have to do all of them.
Mhm.
Like you can focus on one category and just keep going at it and just strengthening your deck, and it's really fun. But
Mhm.
yeah, the best part about Master Duel is it's free to play.
Nice.
Nice.
Although I would like to say this is a Konami game, so the free to play
Oh no.
aspect tends to still sure the in game purchases will get a lot, and they haven't introduced events that allow you to gain rewards for free. So that's gonna be a problem for the long term. But right now, Master Duel has been the most accessible way of Yu-Gi-Oh, and
Hmm.
even the competitive players are jumping into it. But yeah, and it's just a lot of fun. Although the one problem that competitive players have is that the ruling of Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel
Mm-hmm.
follows Japan, so they're using the original OCG rules rather than
Okay.
the international trading card game rules.
Is
Basically,
it
that means
harsher?
that what?
Are the Japanese rules harsher or friendlier than the international rules?
Uh, right now, right now it looks like it's friendlier because there are
Really?
cards that are banned in
Uh-huh.
TCG that you can
Mhm.
use in Master Duel, and it has saved my ass in a ton of duels. So it's
Nice, nice, nice.
there are a ton of busted cards in the OCG. So yeah, that's why the ban list of Master Duel is kind of in a weird bind because they don't know what they're not sure. They have to update it soon because there's gonna be a lot of cards that are gonna be there's a lot of cards that need to be banned or at least limited. So that's one thing. But yeah, this is the most accessible Yu-Gi-Oh game. As I said, you can play it on your laptop, you can play it on your phone or console,
Nice.
and just enjoy dueling or even just staring at the cards. It's People forget that apart from being a card game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is a huge ass card database. So you can just browse to um, almost 11,000 Yu-Gi-Oh cards from over 20 years. Almost every card is there, save for the ones in video games, save for the ones that are won or the ones that are only owned by the people who joined Yu-Gi-Oh World Championships, because those guys are like given special cards that
Mm-hmm.
Oh
can
boy.
never be used in a duel. Extremely expensive, but it's like a commemorative. It's like a medal card, you know.
Ah, okay.
It's a
Okay.
Almost
special card, but
like
yeah,
how athletes get like special jerseys, something like that.
yeah, something like
Ah,
that.
okay,
And
okay, gets.
although they can sell them and they're really expensive,
Mm-hmm.
they're unplayable. But you know, it's nice to have a little bling on your cards, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like how certain formats in overcard games like Magic, like they have gold bordered cards that you can never play it. It's broken as heck, but it's nice. It'll
Yeah.
fetch
Yeah,
pretty funny.
essentially they're insta win cards, but you know they cost a pretty penny. But you know, it's at least having them is cool. Let's just say that having them is the best. Yeah, as I said, Master Duel has been the most mainstream way to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and the fact that it's a free-to-play title where you can get introduced to Yu-Gi-Oh quickly is fun. And my only gripe, yeah, it's a gotcha game. It still has the
Yeah.
gotcha pack. You know,
Uh,
opening card packs is like opening card packs in real life. So you still get 10 cards that you don't need, and you have
it's
to
a
wait
strategy
until
that
pack
has worked
7
for
or pack
years.
9.
There's a reason why Yu-Gi-Oh lasted for years, and
Yeah, you know,
amazing.
people buy a lot of cardboard in general. But yeah, people buy a lot of paper, spend paper to buy paper for years,
For
and it's really
paper.
fun. It's
Mhm.
and yeah, I also think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is a good platform for another way to experience competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it can
Yes.
be an esport. It can have a tournament format. Um, one element that competitive players point out is that Master Duel is a best of one game, so you win or lose, because most of the classic traditional Yu-Gi-Oh games are best of threes,
Hmm.
so they're 3 game series. Um, so that's gonna be interesting if they introduce like a tournament, which based on some data mines they will, along with a bunch of events.
Hmm.
That's gonna be fun because imagine you just you the free to play player happily enjoying creating your first deck, you know, suddenly joining a tournament where all of a sudden you're in deep against a ton of people who have spent years
Oh
crafting
man.
crafting a deck that has busted a lot of crazy actual duelists. So they see that those are the fun parts. But yeah, Master Duel is just a lot of fun. It's difficult. It's painful. Losing is harsh.
Yeah,
It's a very
definitely.
card. I mean, trading card games are punishing, especially if you get caught, especially if you get
Hmm.
caught like with caught with a bad hand, so to speak. It's awful.
Yeah,
Like imagine you're seeing your opponent summon 5 things at once, and then all you can do is just set one monster in defense position. Like
and
yeah,
cry, start
yeah,
crying.
and pray that they don't have enough attack points to put you to 0, which is fun. But yeah, speaking of crazy duels, I had one a while ago before we started the episode, where I had 900 life points left, and the enemy had 8k, still a full 8k,
Okay.
and then I made sure that he would never touch my life points up to after that point, and somehow, some way, I scraped to winning, and I zeroed them out. So that was crazy. So yeah, there's a trading card games are compelling. It's insane. And the fact that it's individual competition, it's the same level of like intensity as like a chess game or a fighting
Mm.
game. It's the same level of mental endurance, I would say, because reading through card effects is like or like reading through thesis statements in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like the effects of
Oh yeah.
modern cards are
Oh
worth a
yeah.
chunk, or like a
Oh, yeah.
chunk. Sometimes they're worth at least 2 pages in a book. Something it's what feels like. So it's crazy. But yeah, what I love is just it's just so accessible. Everyone can play Yu-Gi-Oh right now, and just as long as you have the battery life on your phone as well, because for some reason it's kind of hardware intensive. I think it's
Is it the
Yes.
because of
graphics?
the amount of
The graphics.
programming you have to do for a trading card video game, because
Ah, okay.
right, it's a coding spectacle, I guess.
Mm.
Because you
Mhm.
have to make sure that the effects in a real life card game would work in the video game, and if it doesn't, you're in a lot of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And Konami had to fix up a lot of those earlier, because of course, no game right few games right now come out with uh few bugs or no bugs. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is just something else, and
Yes.
uh I would say this is since this has consumed like uh at least a
Every
hundred
waking
hours of
moment,
my time
Every waking
for
hour.
various purposes.
Every
every
waking
waking
hour
hour.
last month.
Will my deck win? That's how I am with Magic the Gathering these
Yeah,
days. So
see,
I'm
you
like,
tend to you go into a
will this
deep
deck
dive.
work?
You enter a rabbit hole of trading cards. You just
Mm.
you get invested in it's either the lore. And for Yu-Gi-Oh, there's card lore, there's anime, and you just look back, and then you sometimes look at how other players do it, and it's a lot of fun because you see a lot of ways that how how cards can be played, and it's so interesting. And yeah, Master Duel, I think I just hope they just keep the momentum going, like introduce events, like introduce a constant stream of events, keep the community active, like keep the game fresh, keep at least keep the ban lists updated, and introduce new cards along the way. Um, Introduce new cards as soon, at least within like a few months of introducing the actual cards, something like that. So, and yeah, I hope they grow a competitive scene, and I also hope they have a casual scene too, because uh, right now dueling in Master Duel is just ranked, is always a ranked
Mm.
duel. So I hope they have
Yep.
a casual mode where you can just have fun and experiment the most bonkers idea deck you can have. The Exodia deck that burns through 60 cards to get those five body parts for Exodia,
My
and then
body
you get
parts.
the insta win. Oh yeah, before we end, yes, Master Duel has an Exodia Win Animation. If you complete them,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
get to see Exodia wreck your shit. And it is spectacular. I mean, um, sure, the card animations are 2D, but at least the fact that they gave card animations to the boss monsters,
Hmm.
it's fun. It's great. One thing though, they didn't add animations for the god cards.
Why
Ah,
is that?
I think they
shame.
haven't. I think it's either they haven't, or in actual Yu-Gi-Oh meta, the god cards won't really stand a chance. You can actually just
Okay.
That's
kind
right.
of
They can just die
countering.
because of the new meta.
Yeah, countering them is pretty simple. Whether or not you have an 7,000 attack wing dragon of raw, so
Yeah.
that's gonna be really cool.
Oh man.
But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is free to play right now, and
I would love
on the
to see.
console
I would
that
love
you
to see
can play.
Slifer and everything.
Yes, but yeah, it's
I would love to
Master
see.
Duel is just a
I
lot of
would love to
fun.
see
Pokemon Legends Arceus is a lot of fun. Now, with that in mind, we're gonna go to the other gaming news for the past 2 weeks, and it's insane, guys. If there was one thing that we have to talk about first, it's Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard for $70 billion,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry, you're getting a little choppy
and
from us.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think we're
it's fine.
losing Neil. Hold on.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, but
I
yeah,
think we're good.
we're gonna enter this. So
Am I choppy?
Ooh.
Getting a little choppy.
it's fine. So yeah, we're gonna have to hold for a bit. But yeah, January 2022 is an amazing year for amazing month for games, and we have two apart from the two games that came out, we have like two crazy acquisitions from two of the biggest game companies in the world, and it's just insane. It's just insane. It's just really fun. Really, really, really fun. For starters, I think we can start off with Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard by talking about by
It's
talking
weird.
about
Hi, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
yeah, welcome back.
Thank you.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard and how important is this for the gaming industry, because Microsoft is now the biggest gaming company in the world, and it's been that way. It's been that way for the past few years, and they bought they bought Activision Blizzard for $70 billion, and I would say that's freaking discount price, because especially that Activision stock has
Mm-hmm.
taken a huge hit from taken a huge hit from all their controversy, all of the issues that they've had,
Yeah.
because they've destroyed their reputation as a respected game company
Yeah.
in just a few
Like the
months.
Overwatch thing, the HR stuff. It's just
The union busters,
yes, exactly. The union busting. It was just bad.
the annoying
Yes.
actor, and Bobby Kotick not giving up his position is just
Power tripping, man. Like he refuses to let go of the power.
it's crazy. It's crazy and crazy annoying. But yeah, we're gonna enjoy that. There's so many things, but yeah, that's a big problem. And Microsoft now bought Activision Blizzard, so that means they're gonna have a share of that problem. They're gonna
HR
have
issues.
they're gonna have to either solve that problem, or they're gonna have to fix it. They're gonna have to fix a lot of stuff on their newest, shiniest gaming company. And word no worry thing. One noteworthy thing about Activision Blizzard is that this is a lot of IPs. They have Crash Bandicoot and Spyro now.
That's insane, man. Like, do
Yeah.
you think wasn't Crash Bandicoot for the longest time the mascot of Sony?
Yeah, they are.
God,
It
it's
was.
insane.
That and Spyro since the original PS1 era. I'm sorry, I just came
Yeah.
back. My internet. This is Windows 11 thing.
Yeah, up until Naughty Dog and Insomniac sold their franchises to Activision, and then they have Microsoft now has Call of Duty, and then that's the biggest FPS franchise. And that's crazy that they have it. So,
Mhm.
my God, what else can we talk? What else do they have right now? Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Diablo. Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch. Will they finally complete Overwatch 2 in time for Overwatch League? Only time will tell because Overwatch League is just a few months away. It's insane.
They screwed over the esports scene. They screwed over the teams. A lot of teams got cut because from the 6-player format, it became a 5-player format. But I mean, turn off.
Yeah. I think they tried. Yeah, go ahead. I think they tried too hard with the whole being a professional league, like a professional traditional sports team. And I think Jude was the one who mentioned this, that approach does not work in esports, right?
Yeah, because they turned it into an intercity league. But esports isn't like that. But esports is about representing regions, representing countries. You don't represent a city. You represent
Yeah.
your team, your org, where you are from. Like the biggest orgs in the world have teams set in different regions. A good example is like Team Secret has a Filipino team, has a Vietnamese team. They have American teams. They have European teams. So I think them breaking the esports structure for Overwatch has hurt them, and I just hope they finally launch a workable build, a playable build of Overwatch 2 for Overwatch League, because they declared and they promised that Overwatch 2 is gonna be the game that they're gonna play in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And that's interesting. So
It's a game that broke a lot of people's hearts because Overwatch used to be the biggest thing. Overwatch used to be what League of Legends is for everyone now. What Wild Rift is for everyone now. What everyone loves about Arcane.
Yeah.
That's what we loved about Overwatch when it came out. And to see it just go.
Like whatever Riot has been doing for the past few years is what people have wished for what Overwatch could have been.
Yeah.
But Blizzard dropped the ball in a lot of things, especially that this is their first competitive first competitive game with heroes, with characters. And one thing that they had a problem and they still have a problem with is balancing everyone.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many times I complained with how come they remove Mercy's super revive? And then it's like, oh, you can just revive one person now. And then it just kept changing and changing that I gave up. I haven't played Overwatch in 3 years now. I enjoyed it so much before because of everything. And now it's just eh. Yeah. Right? There's no other way to describe it. It's just bad.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been crazy, and where a lot of esports have grown. You can see Valorant just grow so fast in less than a year.
Yeah, it's super fast.
Have a world tournament. Apex Legends has somehow grown last year, which is crazy. So now they're celebrating 3 years, and CS:GO is still alive, and CS:GO is still very profitable, and it's still one of the
Surprisingly enough,
biggest and most watched.
It's the game that'll never die.
It probably won't. And Dota 2 is the most expensive esports tournament every year. Largest prize pool. League of Legends is the second largest prize pool. And that's it's a distant second, but damn, gaining a million for playing, that's crazy good. What else? Rainbow Six Siege.
Mhm.
There's so many other games.
I don't know how
there,
good it is
and
now.
it's really cool.
Yeah. I don't know how it is now after Extraction, how everything has changed up for itself. But it still top of the line Extraction, or are people streaming Siege more than that one?
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff there. But yeah, Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard is gonna be so big because it's a ton of Game Pass. It's a ton of Game Pass titles. That's hundreds.
Oh my god.
Imagine.
Oh yeah. Game Pass
Just turns Game Pass into the
It's gonna be
best.
huge.
Makes me want to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold
Go
off for
get
a
it.
few
Go for
months and then decide on the console.
Wait for Starfield. Wait for Starfield. Oh wait, buy before Starfield, because if the hype is real, then people are gonna go running and buy Xboxes.
Yeah, we have to wait. We have to wait for. I wanna look for a gameplay trigger. I wanna wait for that gameplay because if they don't show anything,
Yeah,
that's gonna be that's gonna lose a lot of confidence to people. So yeah,
that's us, bro.
crazy. But yeah, we're gonna talk about crazy acquisitions. We're gonna talk about another one that happened just at the end of the year, end of the month, which is Sony buying Bungie.
Man, it's like It's like Oprah. I buy you. I buy something for you. I buy something for you. You get a thing. You get a company. You get. I buy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's really insane.
And it's weird.
One thing about one thing
I don't know
about
if it's a good buy though.
yeah also worth noting. Okay,
Yeah,
here
buy.
let's go with a bit of gaming history. So Bungie was a developer who made PC games. They made a nice little FPS called Marathon, and they kind of wanted to make a game for the Mac. They first pushed it to the Mac, and then that didn't work. They went to Microsoft, and Microsoft was just in time. We want to make a game franchise that can help sell our new console. And lo and behold, they made Halo. They made Halo up until 2011, 2012. And then they entrusted Halo to now 343 in Microsoft. And now they've made Destiny and Destiny 2. And also fun fact, Bungie was under Activision Blizzard for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So
It's the X of my ex. The X of
yeah,
my ex is now with my enemy. It's a good thing.
yeah, so that's gonna be really cool. It's also fun because what happens is, PlayStation has been looking for a Halo killer, and now they have the guys who made Halo. They have the guys who have kept killing their Halo killers. And what I want to see for Bungie is for them to create something, create a new FPS, create something fresh. Because Destiny has been working, sure, but I think they're due for at least one more big FPS.
Killzone.
Yeah,
Killzone.
I was gonna say, but then again, Guerrilla Games is still there. But unless Guerrilla and Bungie do this weird tag team, that's gonna be fun. Imagine them using the Horizon engine and then Bungie mechanics.
If not that, I wanted to bring back an old PS4 title. Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? Wait. There you go. This is what I wanted to bring back because I think it's gonna be amazing if they work on it together.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be worth it.
Man.
Because it's Ready at Dawn, but Ready at Dawn isn't doing anything. So maybe give it to Bungie. And this is a totally different tonal shift from the side if I shoot it. Because this could be
That'd
their
be crazy
Wolfenstein.
if they do. But yeah, one thing about these big devs buying each other out is it's just gonna make the console war a bit more intense because we because it's now reached a point where companies buying each other is gonna be the new way of doing things, which is been a lot in terms of like other media as well. Disney has been buying a lot of stuff, so that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, crazy January 2022 for gaming, and goddamn, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh are kind of back on their standard rhythms,
Back on
and
their
they're
feet.
pretty enjoyable. There's so many ways to play games right now. It's so fun. There's gonna be a lot of AAA and indie titles in the next few months. Daylight 2 is out, so better try that out. And then Horizon Forbidden West, and then Elden Ring, and so fun. But yeah, I guess that has been the episode. So um, before we leave, let's talk about the podcast, the live version. You're seeing this on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So we do simulcast every week. Um, but the audio version, you can check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other podcast platforms. So
That's right.
there's so many ways to search us there, audio wise. So you can also check out the geekyones.com. And then you can follow the Geeky Ones. Yes. Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, for 100
Hit that like button.
episodes, guys.
Yeah,
Six, even though we've had
106 episodes.
difficulties here and there, it's 106. It's 2022. What are you waiting for? Keep subbing and keep supporting audio for here.
Yeah, that's gonna be so fun though. For our socials, you can follow at the Geeky Ones on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Really fun. TheGeekyOnes.com is a blog site for various topics related or outside of the episode, but still geeky fun and good content. So that's one another way to check out or read up on our stuff. And yeah, we just hit 60 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you so much. And that'd be fun.
On the road to 100.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you. But for Neil, I guess you have Neil just plays. So Neil, I'll leave it to you for this promotion thing.
Yeah, I haven't been active much, but starting I think this Monday, I'll start streaming again. Hopefully, you can catch me on your just place. I'll be leaving an announcement on that this weekend. I've got half a mind to either stream Pokemon Legends Arceus, since I'm not really through it, or since it's coming out next week, we might just do a bit of Sifu, if not a run through of Uncharted. I'm going through a lot of games right now. I'm juggling through them right now. So, but if you want to be interested in what I might possibly stream on the PS4, on the PS5, I am playing Uncharted, the Legacy Collection, which is pretty much has Uncharted 4 up to
Oh man,
Legacy.
they have the PC Uncharted
I'm
games.
definitely
Let's go.
Yes. And alternatively, if we want to do a quick stream next week, because it's coming out on February 10th, I'll probably be doing what's that? Oh, right, Crossfire X. See if the campaign remedy is any good.
Yeah.
So
I hope
look at
it's
my socials.
hope it's worth the.
Give it a follow.
worth-
Hopefully it's worth the wait and the delay, because it's been a while.
Mhm.
Supposed to be last year. Yeah. Thank you so much. But more importantly, thank these two gentlemen right above me, because they have been with you guys for 106 episodes. They're
Yeah.
amazing at it. Hopefully we get to hang out more.
106 episodes and third. This is our fourth episode of the year so far. That's nice little momentum there. But yeah, I guess that has been us for the Geeky Ones. So thank you so much for watching and commenting. Episode 106. We'll see you next episode, and thank you so much, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.